All right, all right. What's up, everybody? Tristan Shop Talk, and welcome for another episode 1/1/25. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode. Trying to keep it steady, trying to keep it consistent if I can. I feel like I'm a lead singer right now of Korn. So what's up, everybody? I'm glad everybody made it. Thank you for joining me for another episode to kick the year off going, to kick the year off right. Um, where do I start? What do I what can I say? I don't know why this is in portrait. Uh, man. So that being said, yeah, a few things going over. I do have my names correct now. I do have what I need to have as an information pertaining to, well, where do we start? It is the new year. The new year has begun. With that being said, there's been a lot of stuff going on since last night. I stayed in. I didn't even do anything. Uh, I don't think it's even worth it to go out sometimes unless you have things lined up, people to meet, safe, if not that, a safe way to get there. Uh, oh, excuse me. So I'm sure everybody heard about what happened in New Orleans last night, which is a pretty devastating and pretty sad. Um, oh, excuse me. Prayers to I was drinking micheladas all a few hours ago. But yeah, so last night in New Orleans, or actually early this morning at 3:15, early this morning, as far as I know, let me. I don't want this portrait thing. Like, it apparently has me all weird. Hmm. So okay. So yeah. So I guess last early this morning at 3:15 in the morning, gentleman ran his truck straight down Bourbon Street, and 15 are pronounced deceased. Prayers to the families of those individuals. Along along with that, there was other injuries, a lot of other injuries. I have actually video. I didn't want to show it, but the video I did check out some of this video, and the video did explain or did kind of just show how it did maneuver around. There was a cop parked at the end of the street, which I would say the end of Bourbon Street. I'm not sure exactly what street. He literally floored it and went all the way down. And as he was purposely going down this street to hurt people, um, obviously there were some injuries that did happen. So that happened early this morning at 3:15 this morning. Bourbon Street in New Orleans. It's a very sad situation. Uh, it actually did make the world news, which was kind of surprising. Uh, there is already articles out there. I was going to go ahead and uh, explain or actually show. Here, I'll show y'all. So I mean, we'll kind of dive down this window right now. Um, hmm. All right, so yeah, I don't know what I did on this portrait thing. Hold on. Oh man. Oh, see, yep, see. Wow. So I guess I'm stuck on this live. All right. So yeah. So you see what I'm saying? This driver, yeah. So he is from Houston. I did read the article. The article explained, they did pop up at his home here in Houston. He had several homes here in Houston. He is there. I'm trying not to get all around all over the place, but the gentleman is. I wouldn't even say the gentleman, but the suspect who did this is from here in Houston. Uh, I'm not sure exactly what exactly his motive was, if he did have a motive. Um, all I can say is also the article read that he was 10 years active duty, served, I believe, 2 times in Afghanistan, if not once. He did get out of the military around 2018, 2019. I do believe then he became a either joined the reserves, and then so he's been Army reserves. And then just based on the article, from what it seems like this guy really kind of had a lot of, if not a lot of issues coming around with financial and debt. I'm not sure what persuaded him to, or even know, because also what was also found inside the truck of his truck was a ISIS flag. And if that's true or not, I'm not sure. Uh, but that being, I mean, I mean, it just comes around to, we really don't know what these people's intentions are when at the end of the day. It's a very sad situation all around because, innocent people were just having a good time. Um, and it explains the FBI to remain a suspected New Orleans attacker's Houston home for several more hours. So that obviously, they don't know uh, if maybe there's some other things going on inside his home, which is pretty crazy because it's coming back here to Houston personally, and here in Houston, Texas. I mean, there's a like it's a big melting pot. So, um, what this guy's intentions, who he was tied in with, which is some other evidence that they were pointing out that he wasn't solely solo; he was actually acting with another group. So I hate to start off the podcast talking about some bad news like this, but it is our truth, as in what is going on out there right now. Um, so 15 people died and dozens more were injured Wednesday morning when a truck drove into a crowd in the French Quarter of New Orleans. Um, Police had described the attack as intentional and said the truck's driver opened fire at the police after it crashed at approximately 3:15 a.m. He wounded 2 officers. The driver, as identified as Shamsun Jabbar, 42, was killed in a shooting, according to the FBI. It just trips me out that it gets to this point of where, um, I guess you just snap and you want to go and do this to innocent people, which I don't understand. I don't get. I don't know. So, prayers to the families, anybody that did witness stuff like, witness that on their new year of 2025. I'm deeply sorry that that even happened. Sad, sad day. Um, On to the next story. Trump Tower in Las Vegas was caught on fire, which was really strange. So Trump has a building in um has a building, and this building has a this building happened to have a Tesla truck parked in front. So this Tesla truck exploded in front of the Trump building, which I thought was very strange, if not awkward, and maybe some underlining meaning of what the initial reason was to blow up and have a Tesla truck explode in front of the Trump Tower in Las Vegas. So, I mean, I think it's pretty crazy that that would even happen on, obviously, yet again, on January 1st, 2025. Um, Not something that, yet again, that we want to be broadcasting and talking about, but the reason I'm broadcasting it because I just think it's kind of just strange that these things are happening. um, I mean, I can even go back to the drones in New Jersey. I mean, we still have no real reason on why there was drones flying over New Jersey. So I just believe there's just a lot of different and crazy things going on. I don't know what else or how else to put it, but I guess when it comes down to it, the something's going on. I don't know what's going on, but all I'm gonna say is that, with these that explosion happening to in front of Trump Tower, whatever. Um, so I just wanted to point out those two things starting off the show. I just definitely thought it was very strange that this happened, and I mean, what are we gonna do? Because there's also a lot of talking about that the person who drove down Bourbon Street, was from from Mexico, or that they were, but they're not. They're actually, I believe I believe he's a U.S. citizen. I mean, he actually served in the army. And then the Trump explosion with the Tesla was actually somebody died. Somebody was actually inside the Tesla. Ooh, man, excuse me. So on to the next. I did want to go into explaining who will be my next guest, if not a few guests. But before I go into that, I will go and show. So, like I had said before, we have coming up. Um, January 24th, Humble Civic Center. We have Zach Austin versus Myron Tate. And this is going to be a kickboxing match. If you can, please check it out. If you're in that area, step up, stop by. Humble Civic Center, January 24th. Doors open at 5:30. And I'm just going to show you a poster board of the oop, wrong one. So everybody just give me a, you know, just give me a second because I am trying. Bam. All right, everybody. So we have Zach Austin for versus Myron Tate. And Zach Austin obviously trains out of Paradigm. Very well known fighter at Paradigm. Very well known fighter in the community. Very active there at Paradigm. Solid fighter, solid game. Actually, I do Zach Austin when he was actually a heavier weight, but Zach Austin actually has moved down in weight. So on the, I do believe on this fight, I believe he's either fighting at 145 or 150. So he is fighting at a lesser weight, which is interesting. So this is going to be happening January 24th. Like I said earlier, doors open at 5:30, and it's represented at Elevate Humble Civic Center. Should be exciting. If you can, please check it out. Definitely not something you really want to miss. It's along the same lines as the, same action you're going to be seeing with Fury Fighting Championship. So check it out, guys and girls. Not something I know it's up in Humble, but I do plan on hopefully making it and checking it out live. My plans are up in the air right now. I do want to interview Zach Austin if I do have the chance. So I do have in the future, I do plan on hopefully interviewing Zach Austin. And we have another fighter I wanted to show. And getting a little better at this. Getting a little better. Getting a little better. So, next fighter we have is Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson is also another fighter that has been training out of Paradigm. Also a very solid fighter. Very, I would say a very. I've noticed Jesse Jackson is a very constant. He's a very calm person, but definitely a heavy striker. Um, I've seen him spar a few times. I've never sparred him before. Um, but from what I've seen before, what I've seen in the gym, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely he's definitely going to bring it to this guy named Justin Hoffert. 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 So I just making fun of that name. So I got that one too. What's this? All right. So there we have it. We have Jesse Jackson also fighting January 24th at Humble Civic Center, fighting under their Elevate Fighting Championship. All I go by is Elevate, so if I am saying it wrong, I'm sorry. But I just do know that this promotional card is going to be held again at Humble Civic Center, January 24th. Doors open at 5:30. Yet again, like I said, Jesse Jackson's another fighter fighting out of Paradigm. Definitely a very good show that I'm eager to see. And like I said, hopefully I'll be able to make it. These are both kickboxing matches, and so hopefully, maybe we might see a knockout. Definitely, and hopefully Zach Austin knocks out Myron and Jesse Jackson knocks out Justin. Um, and if not, hopefully we just see where Zach Austin and Jesse hold their own and bring it to them. So I wanted to come out and just explain and talk about that. I've already went over the Trump. I've already went over the Bourbon Street deal. So that's it right there. But ladies and gentlemen, yes, another, I guess we can go into. So, there was a few things I wanted to go into before I left, and I thought it was kind of funny. Well, kind of funny and also kind of messed up. And if anybody's forgotten, these two people are still up there. And it's those astronauts. Maybe nobody cares, but I think it's kind of interesting and kind of messed up at the same time, that we actually have these astronauts who are still stuck up in outer space. So they do plan on coming back. It was delayed, so they do plan on coming back. I believe is in March now. So they do plan on being sent back in March. They've been there all of last year, pretty much all of last year into this year. And I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, aren't these astronauts still up in outer space? Aren't they still up there? And then even just like being, I mean, I was like, I get claustrophobic just even being in this apartment sometimes, or my studio. And, I can only imagine just being stuck in space. I mean, you can't drive nowhere, you can't do anything. So I won't even know what would be the thing to keep you even occupied during the time. So I don't know. That was one thing I was thinking about. And what else? I think I wanted to go into. All right, yeah. I was going to go into talk about Luigi Maggiano, which is the United Healthcare shooter, but I don't think I'm gonna want to go into that. So, um, I wanted to go into talking about these next UFC fights coming up, and so next year we do plan on. I mean, actually, next year, this year actually, we have a lot of UFC fighters coming through that I'm gonna be excited to see. So I kind of wanted to just show the card, and I can't get to it. Wow. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So we do have UFC coming up. Um, and I just kind of wanted to go over the first fight that will be coming up. Go figure. Well, this one's kind of interesting. We can read it together. Dive down this one kind of together. It's pretty interesting. So we have Gary who doesn't agree with the rankings, which is kind of like, bro, it is what it is, bro. Like I would say Gary would be the type to be upset about you know something or other than whatever he's complaining about. So let's read. Come on, man. So people have too many windows going on here. There we go. Ian Machado Gary thinks he should be ranked a lot higher after losing. Bro, you lost. Like that's what happens, you know? You can't I don't get that. I don't get that. So Machado Gary 15-1, which is last fight that he did lose. 8-1 UFC. Rallied late in unanimous decision loss to so and so earlier this month at UFC 310. It was a close affair, but given the 5-round matchup with so and so 19-0 MMA and 17 years 0 to UFC, was dubbed as a title eliminator by UFC CEO Dana White. Gary expected to be bumped up the rankings even with the defeat. Why would you think you were going to be bumped up the rankings if you lost? Bro, you lost, bro. Like if you would have won, then obviously you would have made it up, but you lost. Um he quoted, the way I look at this fight is that the fight against blah 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 was to be the number one contender in the world, and I go out and fight for the belt next. Machado Gary told MMA Knockout, if I'm not the number one contender of which so and so got his hand raised and has now cemented himself, I'm definitely no effing two. That's the way I look at it, and because there's no way after the performance, you can't sit there and say that I'm one of the best in the division. So whatever the rankings want to officially say, it's okay. I mean, there's just so much competition in UFC. I don't know how you would want to be trying to think that you can rank yourself higher than this guy. This guy has his shit together. Um, I mean, that guy brought it, man. I mean, he was just the better fighter. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to him and you. I mean, you did hold in there. You didn't get knocked out, but um, I don't know, Gary, which is why I'm saying what I'm saying. But even that being said, I mean, you lost, bro. That just makes no sense. I mean, though now if you want now if he came back, say it's 2 years farther from where we are at now, and then he, actually makes 2 wins, or he actually, does something, then he's complaining, or and then you can complain and say, hey man, well, I've done my, maybe I deserve a little bit more, my ranking or whatever. But he lost. He recently lost. So that I don't get. So I think that was pretty interesting. Um Kobe Covington, that was the last one that Covington happened, like pretty much wasn't a good. That dude Covington took some hits, man. Took some hard hits. That dude definitely has a chin. Didn't stop, kept going head on. Um, I mean, I don't know what else you would want with a fighter, but I would say that he definitely showed up and did his part. Gave a good show, but obviously he lost that fight. Um, well, I guess it's been about 31 minutes. I guess before I go, what I can do is so before I go, I guess I wanted to just kind of show his comedy skit before I left. I guess to kind of get away from the whole um I guess what happened early this morning. I couldn't even imagine, you go to Bourbon Street, you wanted to hang out, chill, you know, let loose, start off the new year right, and that shit happened. So, um, I don't know, I might get hit by I might get hit with a strike from YouTube, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Um, I guess what I wanted to do was just kind of play this song to start off the new year. I've always liked the What a Wonderful World. If anybody's ever seen Good Morning Vietnam, uh, it's a good scene where it kind of just shows like what's happening, and I always just felt like it kind of so. My dad's always liked this song. I've always liked it. I figured to kind of fit the new year. I've always liked this song. Kind of shows both ends. Same things haven't really changed. I guess we'll always be fighting each other. Oh, excuse me. All right, everybody. Well, y'all have a safe Thursday tomorrow. Hope everything, everybody be safe, be vigilant. Kind of have to be vigilant nowadays. So everybody take care. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. I'll be back.